We are live in the year 2022. We are live. How about you? Welcome. Wow, that was a terrible intro. What was I thinking? That's what happens when you don't have like a thought in your head going into a show. That you got to have something. You got to open with something. I mean, we don't always open with good things here, but you got to open with something. Welcome to tonight's show, Night of the Frumess. It is the Night of the Frumess. This is the third Night of the Frumess. And it's our potpourri show. That's not to say we're not going to do more deep dives in the future, but you know, I like these potpourri shows because it's just easy. It's easy to slap together, put something together, throw it up, start rolling. That's what we do. We roll. We throw punches before we think. I'm adding a new feature to the show, but before we get there, first a couple of housekeeping items. At the end of the month, I have possibly the biggest guest that we've had on the show. Possibly. I mean, a really, really big guest. We have some stellar guests coming up, but in terms of, I don't know, just this is a big one. And again, I don't usually get so excited for a guest in this kind of way. I mean, I always get excited for guests. We have great guests on the show. Matter of fact, we have Ace Von Johnson. You've seen him in the comments. Ace is going to be on the show this Thursday. He's coming on for Pizza Punk. I'm so excited to visually meet Ace and chat with him. Ace is awesome. A guitar slinger from LA Guns. He's in a lot of different bands. But we also have Tank. Part 2 of Tank is happening March 20th at 7 p.m. on a Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That's really diving into the Misfits 95. So if you enjoyed the first part of Tank's story, you are going to love part 2. It was supposed to be from 94 to 2001, but it's just too big of a chunk, man. So we're breaking it up into even smaller bits. So instead of getting 3 hours of 94 to to 2001, it's going to be probably 3 hours of 94 to 97. I mean, that's a lot. That's good. How you doing, Biz? How you doing, Sharpie Riot in the house? Sharpie Riot loves the guest. Sharpie Riot is a little biased because he is our sponsor, but he's our sponsor for our reason because he likes the guests that we have on the show. Who else do we have? Oh, so like I said, we have some stellar guests. Ace Von Johnson. We have Tank. We have another member of a band that we love coming on. I don't want to say who they are yet. That'll be a surprise as well. Thank you, Biz. Biz also thinks that we have great guests. But the one that's happening Sunday on the 27th, that one, I'm really intimidated by this guest. And I won't say anything more about it. I just really hope that it all runs smoothly. Talking about it beforehand is not a good sign. I guess maybe it's my anxiety speaking out loud. That's what I do sometimes. The next part of the show that I want to do is I want to tell you about, I want to start telling you guys about bands that I like. And we've done this in the past and we're going to start doing it again. So every time there's a Night of the Frumess, we're going to have a band of the show. No, I don't know. I'll come up with a better title. We need some sweet music for that. But this is a Band of the Frumess. I don't know. No, that's a bad too. I don't know. Somebody think of a good name for that. In any case, we're going to highlight a band and drive you to their band camp. And this week's band, or this episode's band, is the Dahmers. I don't know if you've heard of the Dahmers. They're actually going on tour very soon. I discovered the Dahmers the same way I've discovered a lot of new music through Spotify. Yes, Spotify is it's got its good stuff, it's got its good sides, and it's got its bad sides. One of the best things that I love about Spotify is that if you listen to Spotify, you create this sort of, rut in the algorithm. The algorithm can serve you really well. It's a really good consumer algorithm. It's not so good for artists, and that's why we're not highlighting the Spotify. We're actually highlighting the Bandcamp. But that's how I discovered the Dahmers, who I absolutely adore. They are a Scandinavian band. They're from Sweden. They classify themselves as garage rock, punk, and pop from Sweden, and I think that is a pretty accurate term for who they are. They remind me very much of the Memphis Threat himself, J-R-E-A-T-A-R-D. Spell out that last name. What do you get? I'm typing it in the comments. They remind me of Jay. And rest in peace, Jay. They're like a horror garage version of Jay. And you know, he's famous for bands like Digital Leather and oh god, what was that other thing he did? He's done like a ton of bands. He's done a ton of bands, and they're all of them are slipping my mind. But I'm a big fan of Jay. His album Blood Visions, one of my favorite solo records of all time. Just smoking, plays all the instruments on them, and just is a friggin' burned a candle that burned bright. Wrote, recorded, and put out records, 200 records in 15 years. And then he died at the age of 29 in the year 2010. Gone too soon. We need to do a whole show devoted to him. But I wanted to just highlight the Dahmers because they very much remind me of Jay. And I think Frumess Concert Hall, that's not bad, actually. We're getting there, Biz. Something better than Frumess. That's kind of what I was thinking. Something along those lines. I don't know. We gotta figure that out. I won't do it on the air, but they have really look at all the cool art. Look at their cool album covers and stuff. They're on tour right now in Finland and Sweden, and I am just a ginormous Dahmers fan. I guess they got their start in 2011. I didn't realize that. They put out a demo in 2011. And if you're going to start with a song, I'm not going to play it on the air. If you're going to start with a song, start with Blood on My Hands EP, the song Blood on My Hands from the Blood on My Hands EP. That's a great way to dive into the Dahmers. Super fun band. As a matter of fact, you know what the best way to describe them? It's like the Hives meet J-R-E-A-T-A-R-D. You get what I'm putting down? What's up, Mom? I just saw you. Hey, myself and my dad are feeling better. It wasn't just them. My wife got COVID. My daughter got COVID. We thought my son had COVID. It turns out he did not. So that is here. I'm putting the equation in the chat. I love the Hives. I'm a big Hives fan. So they definitely have some Hives in their DNA as well. It's the Hives plus this band, and that's kind of what I can't say his last name on the air because it will get me into trouble. There we go. See that? That equals the Dahmers. So check them out. You got the Bandcamp right there. Highly recommend them. Can't recommend them enough. Really, truly fun. So now that we've done that, let's keep it going. We're keeping the train moving forward here. On to the next piece of business. We're going to be talking about Batman a lot on Friday because we have a big Batman show. We're going to have Christopher Jimenez back. We're going to have my friend Nate Dogg. I think we're going to have a bunch of people. I'm looking to have 6 people on, possibly more people than we've ever had on any show will be on this Batman show. That's going to be Friday at 8:00. I'm going to see the Batman tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. And speaking of Batman, I wanted to quickly sort of tear into this article. We don't lambast things too much on this. I mean, we do lambast from time to time, but this deserves a good flogging, I think. I don't like this. What the hell were any of us thinking making the terrible Batman Forever a huge hit? Summer blockbusters were not a great place in the mid-90s. What kind of ridiculous, foolish headline is that? Summer blockbusters were not a great place in the mid-90s. We had the best blockbusters in the 90s. Need I list them? I don't even think it's worth listing because of all of the Jurassic Park, freaking every friggin' movie, friggin' Face Off, friggin' Con Air, friggin' Armageddon. I know those are all Michael Bay or Nicolas Cage shows. I'm just saying we had a lot of good stuff in the 90s. The 90s was chock full of stuff. This is by Tom Brehan. Is that how you say it? I don't know. This was originally published on May 4th, 2018. We're not going to read the whole thing. We'll just scale through. You can see how it happened. The executives at Warner Brothers didn't set out to destroy the Batman mythos or make it unwatchably crappy or make unwatchably crappy Batman movies that would put both the character and superhero movie genre at large into a state of prolonged stasis. What is prolonged stasis? It's like 4 years, 5 years, man. Not that. My friend Nate Dogg is not the Nate Dogg you're thinking of. He is, we just call him Nate Dogg. His name is Nathan. He's been on the show. If you watch the show we did about Invincible, the comic book, the Robert Kirkman comic book, he was on that. He was also on the Spider-Man No Way Home show as well. He's my good friend, Nate Dogg. We've known each other since we were little. They just wanted blah, blah, blah. They just wanted a hit. Tim Burton's Batman Returns from 1992 had been a hit, but it hadn't been enough of a hit. The movie made significantly less money than Burton's original Batman, and parents groups complained about its dank, depraved tone. Parents groups complained about everything back then, and big film studios more often than not listened. This is true. They always found something to complain about. Even though I agree with the author here, I still think he's foolish. In Joel Schumacher, Warner found someone who might plausibly be able to keep some of Burton's mythic expressionist vibe intact, but who would be primarily concerned with making accessible, lucrative entertainments. And I really hate that he pluralized entertainments like that. That's kind of, was he trying to do like some sort of like cutesy internet speak? It sounds silly to me. But that's exactly what Schumacher's a great filmmaker. Okay, let's look at what Schumacher's made. He made 8mm. He made The Lost Boys. He made what else did he do? Hold on. Guys, COVID brain. My COVID brain is not working right now. I'm going to blame this on COVID. 1 second. Probably shouldn't be saying the C word too much on here. Joel Schumacher filmography. I know I'm forgetting stuff. Yeah. Right. He did Falling Down. That's a phenomenal film. He did The Lost Boys, A Time to Kill, Phone Booth. He did 8mm. He did St. Elmo's Fire. He did The Flatliners, The Client, Phantom of the Opera. He did Blood Creek. That was what? He directed The Wiz? I didn't even know that. I mean, what a body of work that is, though. I mean, for real. So to give him crap or to sort of treat him as like a stooge, I don't think that's fair. Schumacher had started out as a costume designer. Oh, so maybe he was a costume designer on The Wiz. He worked on Woody Allen's Sleeper, so he clearly be comfortable with the pageantry and the theatricality that a superhero movie required. But we all know what that's really code for and why people, the big casualty here, the reason why the Schumacher films are casualty of 90s sensibilities is because of, frankly, the homophobic sensibilities of the 90s. Schumacher, a gay man who is a legendary woodsman who supposedly bedded 20,000 lovers in his time. He's like the Wilt Chamberlain. He is like the gay Wilt Chamberlain or something. I mean, dude was a legendary lover. People lamented that he put bat nipples on the armor, or that we had that there were cod pieces and butt shots. Like, who cares, dude? Like, that's there is such an integral part of Batman's mythology is that stuff, is there is gay subtext in Batman, and a gay filmmaker choosing to focus on gay subtext, even if it is subversive in a tentpole film from the 90s. Who cares? Who friggin' cares, man? Like grow up. It just annoys me. It just, especially when all of his other work, The Lost Boys, Flatliners, Falling Down, none of that stuff has that same sort of subversive aspects as maybe the Batman films do. So I think that I think it's really, really sort of lame how those movies were lambasted by mainstream audiences because of how people, sort of viewed that stuff. It's just not fair. It's not fair. Um, and initially it worked. He says, and it worked. And initially it worked. It's crazy to think about it now, but Batman Forever, Schumacher's first stab at the character, was generally considered to be a big success. It definitely made money, more than 300 million worldwide. It out-earned Batman Returns and ended the year as one of the highest grossers. Reviews were mixed, but reviews had to be mixed for Batman. But reviews had been mixed for Batman Returns too. And anyway, this was the pre-Rotten Tomatoes era. Reviews weren't just not a part of the calculus for studios. Audiences seemed to like the movie well enough. Kids were entertained. I grew up. I was 10 when this movie came out. I was thoroughly entertained. I loved Batman Forever. The summer of 95 was all about Batman Forever. And you want to know something? The summer of 1997, it was all about Batman and Robin. And you know what? I enjoyed it when it came out. Both films I enjoyed thoroughly when they came out. And to this day, I have never had an unpleasant rewatching of these films. We talked about this with Chris on his show and on Sinful Celluloid. And the reality is that like there's no invalid version of Batman. And it's just, I don't know. I just think it's crazy that people retroactively and again, people just they complain about the dumbest minutia. Toys were sold. Tons of toys were sold. And those same executives presumably high-fived one another before greenlighting another Schumacher sequel. I saw Batman Forever. I paid money. And when the movie was over, I didn't feel like I'd thrown away either my money or my time. He makes it sound like it's like The Room. Like how, what are you talking about, dude? That was a ginormous movie and everybody loved going to see it. Stop making it sound like, like it was this, like you were foolish for doing this thing. I don't remember too much of my reaction to the movie, but I definitely walked out of the theater thinking the movie was fine. Yeah, pretty good even. I like Jim Carrey, who had just become a supernova movie star, specifically by targeting people in my exact demographic, probably my demographic too. Now, this is when Jim Carrey's getting $20 million per picture. Right. Drew Barrymore is in a tiny little character role. They didn't even give her. She just barely has any billing in this film. I like Drew Barrymore, who gave a whole lot of press. This is right before she did Scream, to a role that basically could have been played by a mannequin. That's true. I will agree with. It was a very small role. The soundtrack, you had PJ Harvey, Method Man, Kiss from a Rose, which was the biggest song of 1995 summer. That those songs didn't fit together and that they didn't actually appear in the movie didn't bother me. I'd been conditioned. The soundtrack album was this huge juggernaut in the 90s. I mean, that was it was so integral to selling movies and selling records and just, it was a huge thing. I like what he does say here. Soundtrack album track list coolness level. That is so true when it came to, there was a coolness level to soundtrack albums. And maybe it was also because this was before the iPod where you could get almost like a variety of different songs that were tied into music videos. And it was cool, man. It was its own format back in the day. I like the part where the helicopter crashed in the Statue of Liberty's face. I mean, they really, both of those movies, I said this to Chris on the show, both of those movies, the opening 12 to 15-ish minutes of them in Schumacher's Batman movies are astounding. They are absolutely astounding. You are glued to your seat, intent and focused on action. There's nothing to hate on in those opening, either one, even if Batman and Robin's is really, really goofy. It's way goofier than the Batman Forever is like this legitimate slice of comic book come to life via cinema, and then Batman and Robin is just really, it's hammy, but it is still action packed. And that you can thank Schumacher. That's all Schumacher doing all that stuff. Watching Batman Forever today is an effing nightmare. A jarring, irritating pileup of blockbuster tropes. Yeah, Why wouldn't it be blockbuster tropes and frantic mugging that doesn't succeed on any level whatsoever? It's a friggin' Batman movie. It has a star who clearly wishes he were somewhere else. I don't know about that. I think Val Kilmer was stoked for that role. He didn't even read the script. He just took it. A sidekick whose idea of rebelliousness is to wear an earring and to call a butler Al. Yeah, that was a very two very 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 90s esque examples of rebelliousness. And of course, Chris O'Donnell is like, a 24-year-old man and looks it and doesn't look like he needs to be a ward of the state, let alone taken in by a rich philanthropic billionaire. A love interest who's supposed to be a brilliant psychologist, but whose role is basically limited to breathing heavily and putting her hand on her chest, and two villains who seem to be locked in a mortal struggle to see who can overreact most obnoxiously. That is definitely a way to look at all this stuff. But here's my flip side. This is the flip side to that. Again, you are looking at a big blockbuster tentpole 4-quad demographic adaptation. Stakes are on the line. We've got to play it a little safe. They're not making there's a lot of art in Batman Forever, but there's also a lot of commerce. And then the scale tips with Batman and Robin. That's when it becomes obnoxiously more commerce than it does art. Whereas Batman Returns, for as much commerce is going on, you have Burton wanting to tell the story of a Penguin Man and a Catwoman. Oh, and I have to throw in that Bat guy in the background because the movie's called Batman Returns, so we got to fit him in somewhere. But I feel like I don't feel like it's fair. I feel like the movie tackles the source material with 90s sensibilities in a way that works. As I said, 4-quad blockbuster film with a very simple plot. Two villains, they want to take over Gotham by reading people's brainwaves and collecting information, basically, which is actually kind of ahead of its time. You'd imagine that could almost be a Batman plot for the Riddler or whoever in the 20s, in the Roaring 20s, now after the millennium. But what else do you want? What else do you want from a Batman movie? Like a simple, have you ever read a Batman comic? Yes, they can be incredibly intricate, especially in the aughts, but it sounds like all the plots in the 90s are very Batman, very comic book-esque stories. Even though there's not much story in Batman, we don't hate it. Does this guy hate the Batman or Batman? Because there's no plot in Batman. There really isn't. Think about what the plot is. The Joker has a plan. His plan is to gas Gotham, but for what reason? And this would get explored heavily in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, probably the best part of The Dark Knight, because you have the Joker who's literally acting without reason and says as much. And he says, why, burns the giant pile of money, which is a great statement to make in that kind of way. But to sort of hold this against Batman Forever is not fair. It's not fair. Were things so bleak that I could really pay money to see this oozing sore of a movie? Ouch. Oozing sore of a movie, and just shrug and think, good enough? I guess so. In a lot of ways, Schumacher's vision of Batman invokes the Burton movies. The sets are grand and dark and full of Gothic statues. Yeah. But Schumacher's Gotham City is cleaner and brighter and crappier. Yes. And it's bigger. It's bigger. There's more color. He's doing something different. Look at what Nolan does with Gotham City. He basically goes, hey guys, check out my Gotham City. It's Chicago. You literally go to downtown Chicago and that's Gotham City. We're just supposed to pretend that Chicago is Gotham City and everybody's cool with that. This writer's probably cool with that, but he's not cool with Schumacher making a cleaner, brighter version of Gotham. He throws neon pink and slime green lights and projects them all over everything. He does that in the gang scene. Come on, making it look distinctly Broadway. I mean, Batman kind of is Broadway. Not all of Batman. Batman isn't all Broadway, but there is an element of Broadway in Batman. He's choosing to pull on that string. Everybody who's done Batman has done their own thing. What is the big friggin' deal? John of Doom says the Arkham Asylum book was great. Love the Joker being presented as a gay person, truly progressive. Haha. Are you talking about Grant Morrison's Arkham Asylum? Because I got to tell you, I find that an incredibly obtuse read. Me personally. And you know what it is? The art. I find John, I know John will appreciate this because John loves good art the way that I love good art. What I mean by that is like illustrative art. But John, would you agree that like art is very subjective, like in the sense, or like your taste, your palette for like what you like, what you're taking in when you're reading. And I can't connect to the art in the Arkham Asylum book, assuming that this is the same one that we are talking about. The music recalls Danny Elfman's scores for the Batman movies, but without the sweep or majesty. I love the score. Dun 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 dun. That's great. What's wrong with that? That's literally my entire defense of this movie is that's great. What's wrong with that? But that's literally my defense. It's great. What's wrong with that? Biz, I agree. I fully agree with you. Whoever wrote this article sounds like they're looking to pick a fight, man. I could not agree more. No, for real. I could not agree more. What else here? I'm losing my it's clearly meant to be in continuity with the Burton movies. Yes, because we have Michael Gough. As a matter of fact, you can almost call us the Gough-Hingle universe because both Pat Hingle returns over and over again as Commissioner Gordon, and Michael Gough returns as Alfred. And actually, his role kind of increases with each film. In the final movie, there's a whole subplot. We have a whole subplot of Michael Gough's Alfred. What's up, Xander? How are you, sir? Xander has a channel, by the way, Xander Scullion. He has a channel with my friend James Gruesome. They do a gaming podcast. So if you guys are into games, go check out and go like and subscribe to Xander's channel. He says they are modern takes on 60s camp. It isn't bad. Thank you. Thank you. Literally what I've been saying nonstop. And Nicole Kidman's hilariously named Dr. Chase Meridian makes reference to the Catwoman. Even so, Batman apparently has no problem taking a date to a circus, even after fighting an evil clown. And what are you really holding? This guy is really saying that Batman apparently has no problem taking a date to a circus, even after fighting an evil clown in one movie and a circus-themed gang in another one, meaning that he should have an aversion to circuses. What kind of nonsense? What kind of BS nonsense is that? That's nonsense. I'm sorry. I'm really, really not liking what this guy is putting down. A lot of the problem is Val Kilmer, says this writer. Kilmer could have been a good Batman. Kilmer, all right. I'm taking off my glasses for this to show you how serious I am. I have revisited Batman Forever countless times. I have not seen the Robert Pattinson The Batman yet. But as of right now, and I'm going tomorrow, as of right now, the Val Kilmer's Batman Bruce Wayne combo, performance-wise, maybe not visually, performance-wise, he has the best Batman and the best Bruce Wayne, hands down, for me personally. They are just really, really, really good. And he really tackles both characters well, really, really well. So the fact that this guy is saying a lot of the problems Val Kilmer, I call shenanigans. Sharpie Riot says, I never saw it. You got to see Batman Forever. Speaking of stickers, Riot stickers, let's take a quick commercial break here. Since we're almost at half the hour, don't want to make this show go on forever. As you can see right behind me, this banner comes from Riot Stickers. You can get banners. Not only can you get banners, you can get stickers. That's right. We are running a special promotion with Riot Stickers. And if you check out the link in the description, click on that, you can get 50 3-inch by 3-inch stickers for $29.50. It's normally priced at $59. You're not going to find a better deal than that. At riotstickers.com, you need the promo code Frumess, Frumess, for riotstickers.com. 3 inches by 3 inches. It's a lot of real estate. Definitely make sure to check it out. Link in the description. We have a pretty little video to play for you right now. I'm going to play the pretty little video.
We make stickers, banners, and buttons too. Posters and promo cards. There's nothing we can't print for you. From stage backdrops to bass drum heads. We can print on shirts. We can print on hats. We can print on pants. Cheap prices and high quality. Quick turnaround times and free shipping. We also offer free artwork support. Great customer service and so much more. Riotstickers.com. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. Riotstickers.com. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. Riotstickers.com. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. Riotstickers.com. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb.
That again is riotstickers.com. Look at these shiny bad boys. Beautiful vinyl stickers that stick for forever. Link in the description. Check it out. Okay. Getting back to this. They're saying so the writer is saying, John says that he uses Riot stickers for Voice of Doom's current EP. There you go. That's what's up. He uses it as an insert extra. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with these stickers, guys. Just check it out. Click the link in the description and check out riotstickers.com. You're not going to find a better deal. And when the deal is gone, it's gone. So take advantage. Take advantage. You're not going to find a better deal on the internet. Really, you're not. Go. I dare you. Search. Go search right now. Room. I got to hold one of those Frumess stickers. I got a ton of those Frumess stickers with your name on it. Same for John. I've been meaning to send out little packages. I've just been so friggin' busy. Just hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's stay on the task here, though. So a lot of the problem is Val Kilmer says this guy bull crap. Kilmer couldn't have been a good Batman. He's probably the foxiest actor who's ever taken on the role. Is he though? Is he really? I mean, I think they're all very good-looking Batmans. I mean, you can't George Clooney, Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson. All these guys are like hunky guys. I don't think how Val Kilmer stands above the rest. I'm also not into men like that, but like, you know, I don't know. They all seem like handsome guys, right? He's probably the foxiest actor who's ever taken the role. And when correctly deployed, he had an icy weirdo charisma that made him stand out. The same year that Batman Forever came out, Kilmer was excellent in Heat. He was also great in The Island of Dr. Monroe. But in Batman Forever, Kilmer looks cold and dead. He does not. He reportedly did not get along with Schumacher. That I believe. And he was also, he was also on a crazy ego trip, for sure. Xander says, the worst thing about Batman Forever was Two-Face. Tommy Lee could have been great. Now, on this, I will agree. And we spoke about this in the last show. Go check out the Batman movie show that we did, because a lot of this is retread. But yes. Tommy Lee absolutely could have been, he went a route that was just unnecessary. It was ridiculous. Zach says, I just recently seen that Voice of Doom video that's out with those guys with a horror twist about some haunted beach or something going on. What was the name of the video? You're talking about Night Tide, the song Night Tide. I know I still don't understand what Kilmer was great, dude. Kilmer, again, I read 30 years of Batman comics, right? I read about 30 freaking years. And I have to tell you, I think that Kilmer perfectly embodied everything that makes Bruce Wayne. And I think that and even down to his vocal styles, his voice, his Batman voice was phenomenal. Harvey, you need help. Just so great. Just like that just sounds just something like Batman would say. Kilmer has no chemistry with Kidman. That, yeah, they didn't have the best chemistry, but whatever. Again, we're not watching by far the best love story is the one in Batman Returns or tragic love story, whatever you want to call it. Who's at least game enough to attempt the movie's version of sexy, what is that? Repertoire? I don't know how to say that. Even as less with Chris O'Donnell as the newly introduced sidekick Robin, O'Donnell brings a whole new set of problems. His origin story checks out. The scenes of him with his acrobat family are fun, and Two-Face's attack on the circus might be blah, 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 whatever. And that's before we even get to the villains. Tommy Lee Jones has just won an Oscar for his masterful portrayal of the no BS antagonist cop in The Fugitive. A better movie could have found chilling use for his brisk efficiency and folksy authority. On that, I agree. 100% fully agree. It's like Jones watched Jack Nicholson in the first Batman movie and decided to see if he could do the exact same things as that performance, except even more so. I don't think he's trying. I think what he's trying to do is, Chris is right. He's trying to outshine Jim Carrey. Blah, blah, blah. I can't. This article sucks. Oh my God, I used the S word. I never like to use the S word, but I just did because that's just how I feel. But if Jones was trying to seize the movie through the sheer force of his personality, he never had a chance, not while circa 1995 Jim Carrey was there. Carrey played the Riddler, a role originally written for Robin Williams. He says that the Carrey version of the character was a little more straight than what he had in the mind for Williams, which is terrifying to contemplate. Why? If anything, what would have made, I think, it even better is if maybe there was some unrequited feelings that Edward Nygma was feeling for Bruce Wayne. If you're going to go, if you're going to have this gay subtext, or if you're going to have this, add this gay subversive stuff in the film, take it to another level, man. Go full on. Go full on and just have it all there. It would make it even, I think it would make it even more effective. Or at least for the story, at the center of the story. Even before transforming into supervillain, Carrey is a rubberized gag machine. There's a decent chance that he ad-libbed his entire role, barking out giddy non sequiturs. Spank me! Joygasm. I don't remember that. I think they are supposed to function as jokes, but they're not funny, blah, 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 blah. Jones, it's worth mentioning, hated Carrey. Yes, we already know about this. They had that whole thing. It's a very famous. I'm skimming at this point. No writing could have saved the Carrey performance, but that's what they wanted. They didn't want Carrey to fill a role. They wanted Jim Carrey. Like, don't act like you want Jim Carrey to fit in this box. You want the box to conform to Jim Carrey. That's why you're paying him $20 million to be in Batman Forever. So I don't buy it. And maybe it's just a combination of the fact that for me, this movie can never do any wrong because I grew up on it. Or that I just really think that Kilmer is super effective, but let's move on. It's just, I just think this is such a boring, stupid hot take. I'm just so tired of people hating on these movies I just think they're really, really great. I really do. I don't know what else to say. I did way more on that than I intended to. So we're going to stop on that. We're going to move on to the next and final part of the show. We're going to do a game show tonight. That's right. We're doing a game show. I found this and I thought, man, that would be really fun. Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it rolls. Ready? Okay. 24 of the toughest nostalgic pop culture questions from Jeopardy. This is a challenge. I want to see if I can answer 24 of the toughest, at least according to Ranker. This is by Melissa Sator. I almost, I've been applying to jobs nonstop. And one of the jobs, I made it to my third job interview. I almost worked for Ranker and it did not work out. And I'm really glad that it didn't work out. But it was very interesting to go through the entire Ranker process. I'm actually taking my Ranker article that I wrote and I'm turning it into content for this channel. It's 5 genre castings that should have been. And those are currently only available for Patreons or YouTube members. So if you're a YouTube member, the first one is up. It is David Gale as Dr. Edward Pretorius in From Beyond. That might be a little insider baseball if you are not into Stuart Gordon films. But if you are into Stuart Gordon and Brian Usna and all that stuff, Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, you are going to really appreciate that video. That video is out if you are a Patreon. That video is out if you are a YouTube member. Eventually, when all 5 are released, that'll come out for everybody else. In any case, I don't even know why I was. Oh, right, because I was talking about Ranker. Okay, 24 of the toughest nostalgic pop culture questions from Jeopardy. Let's see if we can get this. Jeopardy, the game where the questions are the answers and the answers are the questions. It's been on for decades, bringing quiz show fun to audiences around the world. As contestants and people playing at home tune in to tackle new questions each night, that they're met with some common categories and themes. One of the areas that shows up on Jeopardy over and over is popular culture. Sliced by decade, genre, and location, pop culture categories also feature wordplay and puns to keep folks guessing movies, TV, music, games, food. Nothing is really out of bounds, making pop culture questions that much more challenging. We went to the annals. That's a fun word, annals. Of Jeopardy and found some of the most difficult, nostalgic pop culture questions to see how tough they really are. They really were. Not to brag or anything, but we got a lot of them right. How did you do? All right, let's try it. So this is category 1, Pop Culture America. Ready? In alphabetical order, the 3 spokesmen for Rice Krispies. Now, do I have to answer in a question, you guys? I'm going to answer in a question. Who are Snap, Crackle, and Pop? Scroll down for the answer. Okay. Crackle, Pop, and Snap, it says. I go Snap, Crackle, and Pop because that's whatever. I got it right. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, number 2. Ready? The question about accessing a Tootsie Roll was first asked in ads in 1970. The answer would be, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? We know the boy, he goes to the owl, and he says how many. He hands over his Tootsie Roll Pop. We've all seen the ad. We grew up on this ad. They must have. That's funny. That ad must have played for 30 years before it was retired. I mean, they just. I remember that throughout the 90s. I can remember that very, very vividly. It was already 20 years old. How about that? So the answer is, who is the owl, or who is the owl asking? Sorry, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? And the answer is supposedly 3. However, I tried. That's right. Angus has no idea. What is? I have no idea. And Riot says he bites it in 3. That's right. I actually tried to do this. When I was young, I tried to see how many licks it would take to get to the center of Tootsie Roll Pop, and I counted 975. Obviously, it's going to be a very a very subjective answer. It depends on a lot of scientific factors. What kind of licks are you? How are you licking the lollipop? Are you, licking it all the way around? Does that count as one? Is a lick how many seconds does the lick go for? Are you putting the whole pop in your mouth? There's a lot of different ways to sort of crack that nut. And the answer is, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Ding, ding, ding. We are 2 for 2 right now. Okay, moving on. Category 3, unlikely pop culture pairings. Ready? Pity the Fool. Who doesn't know Mr. T met Boy George in 1986 episode of this show? Holy crap. I have no idea. 1986 show, Boy George and Mr. T. Oh my Lord. What is the show? Man, I thought I was going to just breeze through this. I have no idea. All right. I'm going to guess Different Strokes. What is Different Strokes? I let's see what everybody else. Okay. Riot says Cosby. I'm going to guess Different Strokes. That's just my inclination. Let's see. The answer is the A Team, of course, because Mr. T was on the A Team. Although I thought the A Team was from earlier. I didn't know it was still going in 1986. All right, so let me. We should really be keeping track. I'm gonna keep a tally here of right and wrong. If my pen doesn't break, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay. So we have 2 right and we have 1 wrong. It is a bit of a trick question, right? Because they met on an episode of the show. They make it sound like they were both guest stars. I think it was a little bit of a fluke. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. And yes, you're right. There is no definitive answer, Biz, because they're not all exactly made the same. I agree. Okay, moving on. Let's scroll down to the next one. Computer hackers. Matthew Broderick toys with NORAD in this film that helped bring hacking into popular culture. What is War Games? The answer is War Games. I don't remember the year. I think that was 1986 as well. The answer is War Games. I got it correct. Okay, that is 3 right and 1 wrong. Doing pretty good. Okay, category 5, pop culture in America. Ready? The Winchester 73 and the Colt 45 have been referred to as the gun that did this. Oh man. The Winchester 73 and the Colt 45 have been referred to as the gun that did this. Shot JR? I don't know. Oh man. Pop culture America. The Winchester 73 and the Colt 45 have been referred to as the Smith and West. I don't know. I don't know the answer. The answer is Won the West. Ooh. Wow. I would not have. Wow. Goat Boy Pickles got it. Nice. Goat Boy Pickles. Sweet. Do you guys like this? Is this fun? I'm having fun. Category 6, pop culture before and after. TV show in which McMurray raises Mike, Robbie, and Chip, who are part of Ron Perlman's biker gang. And Sons of Anarchy Fred McMurray raises Mike, Robbie, and Chip. Is that My Three Sons? Who are part of... I'm going to guess it's Pockets. What are you saying? It's Pockets. Is that the name of the show? Damn, Goat Boy Pickles knows. I don't know what the answer is. My Three Sons of Anarchy. That makes no sense. All right, so what did I say? Did I say My Three Sons? Because, so what? Pop culture before and after. That was a really... Okay, I technically got that wrong, but that was a really stupid question. That was stupid. I get it. I thought it was My Three Sons. That's BS. I should get half a point for that. I'm taking half a point. I'm sorry. I'm going to give myself half a point. How do I do that? You keep calling me pickle. Oh, he's correcting me. Goat Boy Pockets. I was calling him Goat Boy Pickles. This Goat Boy Pot. Well, now you're going to be Goat Boy Pickles, whether you like it or not. And it's not. It's just because that's how we earn nicknames here. Oh man, I'm so sorry, dude. That's hilarious. COVID brain. COVID. That's just my excuse for everything. COVID brain. How am I going to watch the Batman tomorrow night with COVID brain? It's going to be really difficult. Oh, and that's how we're going to close the show with a movie recommendation. That's the other thing we'll do. That's a good idea. Sorry, Goat Boy Pockets. Pockets. All right, 90s pop culture. I should get this. The original 9 of these to hit the store shelves included Patty the Platypus and Squealer the Pig. That is super easy. What are Beanie Babies? Come on. That is Beanie Babies. I mean, Beanie Babies were the biggest thing since sliced bread. Sliced bread. That was huge. Huge. All right, on to the next one. We're making good time. Making good time. I was like, I want to do this in an hour. It's going to be a little more than an hour, but that's okay. Pop culture before and after. Don Johnson's 1980s cop show that finds itself in reverse order from that stated. What? Okay, I see what it is. It's so pop culture before and after fuses two things. So obviously the cop show is Miami Vice, and then the show that finds itself in reverse order from that stated. I don't know. What's up, Walter White, down in New Zealand? All is well. All as well as could be. Angus's wife took him to a Beanie Baby convention. That must have been fascinating. I wish they made a documentary about the Beanie Baby convention because I would watch the crap out of that now. Don Johnson's 1980s. So Miami Vice that finds itself in reverse order. Vice Miami? From that stated? I don't know. The answer is Miami Vice versa. That's stupid. I'm giving myself another half a point for that one. So I'm at 5 total. I got half and half. Right. Yeah. Pokemon. I never was into, I had dabbled in Beanie Babies, but I did never was into Pokemon. But Beanie Babies, I'm trying to remember when those got big. I feel like, oh God, I don't know, but I definitely had a couple Beanie Babies. $5. 20th century pop culture. In 1982, this magazine company condensed the Bible. I don't know. In Time. I'm going to say it's Time magazine. Time magazine. The answer is Reader's Digest. Whoa. All right, I got that wrong. All right, so where are we? I've got 5. Why is there? Oh, I guess because 2 of them count. Okay, that makes sense, actually. Okay. Category, check into the pop culture hotel. I'm glad I never stayed at the hotel of Donald Sinclair, on whom John Cleese based Basil in the show. Faulty Towers. Yep. Faulty Towers. Bing, bing, bing. Don't ask me why I friggin' know that. Yeah, I remember highlights. Goofus and Gallant. That wasn't it. There was a kids' Bible magazine in the 70s. Interesting. Biz is never got into Pokemon until her daughter fell in love with it. That's cool. That's nice that, it's nice to find things to bond over with your children. I do it all the friggin' time. Pop culture, despite its name, you don't have to be a lawyer to enjoy this men's magazine full of wit, style, and dubious achievements. Okay, not GQ, not Maxim. The answer is Maxim, I bet. Esquire, duh, right. Of course, Esquire is that's the name for a lawyer. Ugh, I can't believe I'm so stupid. Of course it'd be Esquire. That's what goes at the end of a lawyer's name. Oh my God. How did I mess that up? Pop culture. Yeah. Riot got it. Good job, Riot. Okay, ready? Playboy. Pop culture, not to be confused with the boy singers, the Hanson brothers, were hockey goons in this 1977 film. What is Slapshot? The answer is Slapshot. Yep, that's right. Ding, ding, ding. Woo, woo. All right, I have 7, including my 2 half credits. Pop culture. This late country singer called his autobiography 30 Years of Sausage and 50 Years of Ham. I'm going to guess Johnny Cash, maybe? I don't know. Jimmy Dean. Oh, I didn't know Jimmy Dean was a country singer. Wow, I'm embarrassed. How did I not know that Jimmy? So I have 5 wrong right now. Technically, I have 6 wrong. I'm going to put a 6 there because I got half of them wrong. Jimmy Dean was I always just thought of Jimmy Dean as the sausage, and that's it. Nothing more. 14. We have 10 left. Neil Diamond's 1982 hit Heartlight was inspired by this movie. Ooh, okay. 1982 film, Heartlight, Heart Beep, maybe? I'm going to go for Heartbeat, which is an incredibly obscure Andy Kaufman movie about robots. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Oh, I feel so stupid. I wouldn't have gotten that, though. That was silly. That was really silly. All right. 15. Pop culture. In the song Don't Stand So Close to Me, the Police mentioned this Lolita writer. Oh, man. Don't stand so close to me. I don't friggin' know, man. The Lolita writer. I know the Lolita writer. It's a Russian guy. It's a Russian guy with an unpronounceable name, and I'm not going to get this right, but he's Russian, and I know that because I've seen Lolita a bunch of times, the Stanley Kubrick masterpiece. Nabokov. Okay, so I can't claim that as correct. Do I get a quarter of a credit because I knew he was a Russian guy? No, it's not going to work. All right, putting the pop in pop culture. This is Hendrix heard a Who and Lou Rawls 2 at this June 16th to 18th, 1967 California event. It was at the Monterey Pop Festival. I'm going to guess. Yep, Monterey Pop. Boom. All right, I got 8 right so far. Doing pretty good. All right, 17. Politically correct pop culture. The violence goes on, but in 2006, Time Warner TV removed this activity from old Tom and Jerry cartoons. Ooh, what? Hitting somebody with a mallet, maybe? I don't know. Smoking. Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, wow. I mean, I'm glad they did, frankly. I mean, I'm not. I take that back. Don't edit old stuff. Put a disclaimer in the front of the old stuff. I'm not happy about that. And I've talked about this. My stance on those Disney, there's a lot of bad stuff in old Disney movies, and they put like a disclaimer at the beginning that says these movies are a product of their time. That's my stance. That is my stance. I do think that smoking in stuff can be very influential to kids. But should it be cut out? No. No. Ultimately, no. I take that back, what I said. John says, all right, anyone who answers within the next 24 hours, I think that's part of something else. John's going to say more in just a second. Okay, 18, pop culture. As one of the best-selling albums of all time, it was first seen in Russian photos taken in 1959. Wait, as one of the best-selling albums of all time, it was first seen in Russian photos taken in 1959. Wow. It's one of the best selling. Oh, the answer is Dark Side of the Moon. Watch this. It's going to be Dark Side of the Moon. Yes, I was correct. Dark Side of the Moon. Woo! I'm not so bad at this. All right, so John is saying whoever, guys, check this out. We have a contest. We have an impromptu contest from John. Whoever answers within the next 24 hours gets the newest Voice of Doom CD plus the latest 7-inch by emailing John. And I'm doing this because he put his address out there. John Steinheimer. That's JSTEINHEIMER at iCloud.com. Okay. So respond to him and you can get the newest Voice of Doom CD plus the latest 7-inch. Send him an email. It has to be within the next 24 hours. And Rue says, dude, it's hilarious watching animals smoke. Rue, you are absolutely correct. It is hilarious. And while, again, I'm thinking of the children, dude, none of that stuff, nothing should ever be censored in that kind of way. It should have a sticker. Could you imagine? It would suck. Could you imagine if all those old school that's part of what makes those old school cartoons so appealing. So you know what? 100% good thing that Disney does not do that for the most part. It's a tricky situation. It's a tricky, and guys, John is saying it is free. Remember, it is free. John Steinheimer at iCloud.com. That's JSTEINHEIMER at iCloud.com. Next 24 hours. You get the 7-inch and the latest Voice of Doom release, I think he said. Yeah, it's the newest CD plus the latest 7-inch. Because he says no one actually buys media anymore. That's not true. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's a tricky it's tricky, man. How do you make people buy your shit? It's my eternal question, John. This is why I pretty much decided not to release my film on a Blu-ray and instead decided to put it out onto YouTube for free because I figured I'd probably make more money letting people watch it for free on YouTube than I would selling it on Blu-ray. Eventually I will put it on Blu-ray, but I didn't see the urgency in it because of the state of things. So Austin Smith says, Uncle Jeff, did this show turn into Jeopardy? I'll take Jerry's Kids for 500. Yeah, we're doing a special Jeopardy thing. Voice of Doom ain't no joke. It's a way of life. Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's get through these. 19, music legends. These two monarchs of pop culture both passed away on August 16th, one in 2018 and the other 41 years earlier. These two monarchs. I don't know. Does anybody want to guess that? I don't know if I want to wait for anybody to guess it. Let's just get Elvis Presley and Aretha Franklin. Whoa. Okay. Got it. Pop culture monarchs. I wasn't thinking. I got that wrong. Mind you, the score is going to come up a little weird because I took a half a point on 2. Pop culture. Sigourney Weaver made her debut as Alvy's date outside the theater in this 1977 Oscar winner. I have no frigging clue. Oh, it was an Oscar winner in 1977. Annie Hall? Would it be Annie Hall? Annie Hall! I got it correct! Yes! Wow. Wow. Dude, I feel really good that I got that right. I never even seen Annie Hall, but I knew it won the Oscar for 1977 for Best Picture. Pop culture. Barbra Streisand's fans know her middle name because it's the title of a 1971 album. Yentl? I don't know. I'm putting Yentl. Joan. Okay. There's only one thing we all know about Barbra Streisand on South Park. Mega Barbra Streisand. Pop culture. The best-selling mystery writer's father, C.W. Lewis, used constructive lines of a nursery rhyme for his title. C.W. Lewis is the answer. Whoa, Sue Grafton. What? Ah, okay. C.W. Grafton. Wow, I feel like a dumbass there. Whoops-a-daisy. Whoops-a-daisy. I'm told it's magnificent. I've just never seen it. I've never seen it. I believe it won more than just Best Picture. I think it won Best Screenplay too. Pop culture transports. A father and a son searched the streets of Rome for a stolen transport in this 1940s film. A father and a son searched the streets of Rome for a stolen transport in this classic 1940s neorealist film. The answer is The Bicycle Thief, which I have seen. Bicycle Thieves, whatever. I'm pretty sure it's called The Bicycle Thief. I am going to give myself the point on that one. 24, last question, pop culture. Ready? A video game in the Club Penguin series is titled His Revenge. Huh. I don't know. Herbert. Okay. Herbert. So I got that wrong. So the final tally is I got 11 right. Mind you, I actually got two of those I counted as are half points, and then I got 12. I got 12 wrong, but two of those were half points. So I got about half right, half wrong. We'll call it there. That was fun. That was a fun little game. So to refresh, we have Ace Von Johnson of LA Guns and Faster Pussycat and a whole bunch of other bands. He's coming on Pizza Punk on Thursday. Friday is the big Batman show. We have Tank coming on for part 2 of Grim Tales. That's happening on March 20th. We're going to be doing the back end of Teenagers from Mars 2 at some point. I have not decided when that's going to happen. Patreons, keep your eyes peeled for notifications for eventually for some of April's videos coming. I've got a couple of videos going to be coming out. And what else can I tell you? I guess that's basically it. Thanks for doing the Night of the Frumess tonight, guys. Really quick, fast, trying to get these done in an hour. It's not easy. It'd be more effortless if we could do them in an hour. When it gets to be longer than an hour, the Night of the Frumess, I think it goes on too long. The point is to be short. The deep dive should be like 90 minutes, 2 hours. Look, see, I'm still talking. I should just end the show. Jeff, end the show. End it. Do you know about the Patreon? Peace and hair grease. Oh, one last thing. We are coming up on our 2-year anniversary of this channel becoming what this channel is slowly been becoming. We March 20th, 2020, which is our tank show. Actually, it's perfect. That was our very first broadcast in this kind of way. I can't believe it's been 2 years. Make sure you tune in for that. Going to be very special. Peace and hair grease. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jeff. So I've decided to make a Patreon. What is Patreon? I don't know how to define a Patreon. Let me look it up. Patreon is a membership platform that makes it very easy for creators to get paid for the things that they're already creating. I want to do it full time. I want this to be my full-time job. In my efforts to make that happen, I've set up this platform. Is it going to work? Is it going to be successful? I don't know, but I would rather try and crash and burn than not try at all. The goal is to create enough passive revenue so that I can continue to do this full-time, uninterrupted. Why? Because I love to do this. I love creating content. I love making videos. I love shooting films. I love doing podcasts. In case you couldn't tell, I love to talk and I never shut the fuck up. So right now I've kept the Patreon incredibly simple. There's 2 tiers, and that may change in the future. The Murdergram is a simple way to extend support for all of the hours and hours of free content on the channel for nothing more than $1. 38 cents goes to Patreon. What's $1.38, eh? It's less than a cup of coffee, but it's a great way that you can show support for very little effort. When you divide that $1.38 by the hours and hours and hours of time spent listening to this endless drivel of content, the dollar cost average works out. Next up is the YouTube Casualty for $6.66. The YouTube Casualty is loaded to the gills. Enjoy the archive ad-free, as well as ad-free early access to special docu-style podcast videos, music reaction commentaries, and the like, a month before they drop on YouTube, loaded with ads, I might add. You're also going to get exclusive content and behind-the-scenes content that is not available on YouTube or anywhere else. So you get to peek behind the veil. And believe me, there's a couple of choice pieces. Most of all, more than anything, whether you join the Patreon or not, I just want to thank each and every one of you that comes to the channel, that watches all the shows, that leaves comments, that participates, that subscribes. That's really the most important thing. This is just trying to find a way to earn a living as an artist. And with that, thank you for my TED Talk. Join the Patreon, because we need you!
66 cents.